Summoners! Look at these Sims. This is peak Arden here. He is an S tier armor. Let's jump into it. Okay, so Duocrom comes out and I think the Age of Arden is just gone because he's literally on every single team. I worked so hard on this to get him up and running. So we ended up with this build here and Fallen Shield, and it is something special. I mean, you guys saw how many units that this draws to an in conclusion. He doesn't beat a whole lot of things, but he does have a nice player phase as well, which is very sneaky. We look at the other team. We've got a nice +10, +10, +9, +6, and +2. These two units, and I mean even that one, just completely obliterate Arden normally, but not now. Full disclosure, Legendary Chrom is definitely a concern, and you saw the margins on him were very, very slim. If he has any kind of buffs, then he is an immediate worry. What I'm most worried about this one is Legendary Sita, flat out, and the fact that they handed her to me on a silver platter just made me oh so happy. Now, you notice how wonderful this is that I have created this nice little Arden shell where no unit can really get to him. It's fantastic. And they quit. Now look at that. Like, this is Deadeye Chrom.
But I'm begging you.
+10 couldn't take Arden out. And of course, Dogger, color disadvantage isn't gonna get there either. But that's incredible. Like, that's a quick match and we're done. I'm gonna show you this next one. This is an interesting team comp because it's not what you see every day. And it's the Miracle Lucina that I've talked about, but it's a lot of other things. Namely, this Lysithea. And we're gonna talk about her more in just a second. But you can see this is, +10 Tana. That is just nice. This is an excellent team. I will say quickly, this opener that I am using is taken almost directly from a player named Dark. We'll actually see he is my final loss. So you'll get to see how closely this resembled that. But we're gonna get all stacked up. I will have full disclosure, this whole series was very difficult for me. This map isn't the way I like to play, but also it was Mother's Day weekend. So while I'm doing all of my runs, I have a small human next to me and he wants my attention. So I'm trying to juggle things. This one was particularly hard because right at about this moment, I heard, "Dad, I need to poop." I was like, oh no, not now, can you hold it? Which is never a thing you say to a kid who's, learning to poop in the potty. But yeah, it was fun. So we're getting all set up. What I want you to really see here though is this. Moonbow procced, ready to go, can't take out Arden. Arden! It's so awesome! Oh, I love this unit so much. This is a Gen 1 armor, and that's a Gen 6 Brave Cav. That's just nuts. So, Arden is showing his worth. This is a move I do a lot where I offer up Catria, and one of two things is gonna happen. They're either going to take the bait or they're going to have me in a position to attack them with triangle attack, which is what you can see going on here, and that's what happened to their Lucina. After this, I basically took my 2-point lead and said, you're going to have to come to me because I am trying to wipe a small human's bottom. Sorry if it's a little gross, but hey, it's parenthood. Cool, that Tana's so good, isn't she? Jeez. Now, I'm a little worried at this point because I think if they would have played this differently, they might have been able to pull something off. I'm not sure what that differently would have been like, but I had my units too spread out. I always worry when that happens because you don't get... It's easy to get one locked on an island, right? This one hurt me to my core. This is my first defeat I'm going to show, and I am trying to wrangle small human, and I completely misclick. It was painful. Let's look at these units. Plus 10, that's a very nice Tethys. Plus 10 Crom, plus 7 Hector, plus 10 Dogger, plus 7 Reagan. Very nice team. The commonality in all of my losses was that I got too aggressive. And this is a map where you kind of have to sit back in your corner and take what the other team gives you. And I hate that. That is, if you guys have seen me play at all, that is not the way I play. I love having, like, the Pathfinder strats are my absolute favorite. And they weren't viable here because the teams were so spread apart. It took a long time to get there. And your units would be so strung out that one unit that did get a kill would generally be gone, and then they'd have all of their units come at you in force. But you can see how this is playing out, and I'm trying the same thing where I'm trying to get into a position to take one of their units out, mainly because I'm worried about that legendary Crom. Even here, I am willing to let them come in and attack my Arden. I'm perfectly fine with that if that means I get that Crom off the board. Obviously that didn't work, but now we have a chance to get Hector off, and I take it. I am fine with either unit that they take here. I would have preferred they take out Sonya because then I would have had an action, but that was probably the right thing for them to do. I've got everything nice and set up. This is, I believe that was a stall tactic, yeah. And I've got Catria. Again, I am perfectly willing to have someone come in. Like, that was a good trade for me. When you're in the lead, is a good time to trade down units. All right, here it is. I've got everything set up. I am so happy with this. Like, this is perfect. I don't think that Arden survives this. Particularly, this is a very built up, very buffed unit. But I don't care. All I want is to get rid of this guy. And I go to hit the duo button. And I hit auto battle. Oh, it's still... Oh, I'm sorry. It still makes me mad. Like, I'm looking at this and it still drives me crazy. At this point, I'm like, maybe I can... No, I can't. That's the reason I was afraid of that legendary Crom. The plus 10 with all the buffs and everything. That was not going to be a thing that I could survive. And all they have to do here is do a fancy move. Very well played, by the way. And go and get me. But I can't believe... I hit auto battle. And what kills me is if I hadn't have done that, then I would have been able to achieve rank 1. But you guys know how it goes. Anyway, we still got to prove out how amazing Arden was. This was one of my favorite matches of the whole round. I really enjoyed this. This was a battle. And we can see what they're running here. We've got a plus 1 Crom, a plus 10 lethality Yuri, and you'll see in a second that they've done this Yuri the right way for this map. And plus 10 Hector with just everything on him. The way to do Yuri on this map was to have... We'll hit play here and I'll show you. So what they're going to have is they're going to pull Yuri up with basically... Look there. Oh, there we go. So it got Flashing Blade, right? So what they want is one cooldown. Well, basically they want the first hit and for lethality to hit on the second. And that's why we have the null follow-up. And at that high a merge, he's suspiciously bulky. Trust me, I've run into him before. I'm not worried about him because I know that Arden can take him, but I am worried about him in that he is a menace. So the thing I've got to get off the board is Vector, because that is keeping me from doing any damage because I didn't really bring a melee threat here. I've got Catria, but that's... Yeah, you guys know. Anyway, so we're coming up on this. This is the showdown. We've both popped our duo skills, and it's on. So first off, I do that sacrificial Catray right there. Again, I am more than happy to have that unit right there, but I can't get to him because I assumed that Sonya was going to be able to take out Vector. Keep in mind that was, I was expecting to take out Vector there. that was 2 hits because it's triangle attack, and the AoE, but the AoE wasn't going to hit because it was too far away. So I'm in this incredibly awkward position, and you can see that Yuri just attacked Arden, and he lived. Like, that is lethality Yuri hitting on the 2nd hit, so Sacred Cow wasn't active, and Arden lived. Like, that is the only thing saving me at this point. I am in such big trouble. Finally get Vector off the board, which is immensely important, but they get my Arden off the board. The thing that is saving me is that I get their other big brawler off the board in Crom. When Yuri doesn't have lethality, he is just not nearly the unit that that he is otherwise. I make sure to get the unit that can take Duo Dogger off the map in their Duo Dogger, and that is clutch. Like, that is huge. I'm not sure that anything would have been different here, but that's just assurance. I mean, yeah, that's amazing that Dogger survived that, and that's mainly because of that menace skill. It came in just clutch there. I wanted to be able to use... Yeah, I wanted to be able to use Crom one more time, and they have nothing at that point, so they just fed their Yuri to me, which is something I normally do if I lose. I just feed my units to the other person. It's definitely not necessary if you guys don't feel like that's an etiquette that you guys have to follow, but I could not believe that I came out of that map. Like, that one had me sweating. We're gonna show one last match here, and this is with Dark, and Dark is an incredible player. So much respect for them, and they are the architect of this team design, and you can see how closely this reflects. Like, I am taking exactly their team. What they really pinpointed was how important a red far save unit was going to be here, and that's what kind of opened my eyes to this whole strategy. Everyone came with counters for Brave Hector, right? I mean, you saw them everywhere. Unless you had a very highly merged +10 floor-rated Vector with distant defense 4 and distant defense 3, you were going to have issues. So, having red was very counter meta and helped make a lot of this run. Now, the problem is when we both have teams like this, whoever goes first is going to have a huge advantage. And right off the bat, oh, did I look at the merges here? Like, this is not a highly merged team. This is a rank 1 player, and we have, what, 6 total merges on this team? Like, this was a really well-designed team here. Let's jump in, though. Yeah, you'll see, I mean, this is exactly his intro that I have swiped from him, because it was just so good. The fact that we had a map where you couldn't viably use Pathfinder strats all that well meant that raid bosses pretty much went away. And the reason being that if everyone has to go to warping strategies with Catria, that meant that raid bosses were pretty easy to take out. So it took us down to basically one archetype that was viable at high levels. So you can see setting up here, and what I'm trying to do again, and I was hoping they wouldn't see that, but it's Dark, of course they're gonna see that. I really wanted to be able to take Myrrh off the board, and I couldn't. We're then setting up, now this is an interesting move, and I say interesting in a bad way in this case. What I was looking to do was get Sonya in to take out their Sonya, because their Sonya is the only thing that can take out my Arden. Once I do that, I have free reign over the board. The thing that I am forgetting here, and you guys will see in just a second, is that Catria has her motion right there. So yeah, she can move 3 spaces. Sorry, not her motion. She has Pathfinder assistance right there. So she can get 3 spaces out to Dogger. And I always forget that Catria is a good combat unit. Sorry, I'm spoiling this. Okay. There, sacrifice, right? sacrifice Dogger. I will take that trade. Like that is a viable trade for me, but Catria comes in and just demolishes me. After that, I mean, I've basically lost the advantage there, and yeah. So I am desperately trying to cling to victory. The problem is they've got the lead, and Dark is very patient, unlike me. And so they are sitting back nicely and watching as I try to come up with some way to attack them. I was hoping to get triangle attack going here. This was a brilliant move. Do you see how they split their units there? And by doing so means that I can't take out, or I can't get a double hit on Myrrh because I can't jump over here to Arden. Yeah, it was a sad day. So, you notice it took 3 hits from him to do that. So he had to have Catria support there. Still, Arden showing up. I wanted this win so bad, though, Summoners. And I just got demolished. And like I said, I usually feed my other units. I don't see any point in running around after that. So, Summoners, this is where we ended up. Rank 30, which is very good. If I hadn't have had that one loss, I wanted rank 1 so bad. We had a lot of good people up there. You notice it's a smaller rank 1 this time because honestly this was a harder map. But we've got some great people up there. The Actuarist, Oblivion, Acker's amazing. Who else do we have up here? Lux is phenomenal. Ilya, who's in the server, congratulations. That was an off-meta team that I thought they just did spectacularly with. I hope they make a video on that. Tronastraz, who is excellent, and of course Ty Local. And yeah, I mean, everyone did amazing. Dark was up there somewhere, but I missed them. Well, there they are. But yeah, Summoners, it was a great time. I hope you guys enjoyed the map. It was a little more one-dimensional than I wanted it to be, and I'm looking forward to this SDR with, I think we're going to have more team types, I'm hoping. Anyway, I hope you're having a good one. Take care, and schedule an appointment with your FEHologist real soon.